Yes, welcome dear all. So today we will be discussing the topic that is cost center versus cost unit. It is very important theory question and of course the base of cost accounting also. These are the two basic things. So we start now. As you all know that cost accounting system involves measuring, recording and reporting the product cost or service. So, when we say that measuring the cost or recording or reporting of the cost, so the first aspect, how to measure the cost and where the cost is to be measured. So, the question arises how and where. So, how the cost is to be measured? The cost will be measured with the help of the cost units. So, cost unit is I will be just writing over here cost unit and later will give you explain it in a better way. And where the cost is to be measured, it is to be measured in the cost center. So cost is going to be measured in terms of cost unit. How we are going to measure in terms of cost units, and where we are going to measure, we are going to measure the cost where it arises, that is, it is in the cost center. So, firstly, let me explain about the cost unit. So, what is cost unit? Cost unit is the unit of quantity of product or service for which we are going to measure the cost. So, in relation to which we want to ascertain the cost. अगर इसको सिंपल वे में कहें, when we go and to a petrol pump in order to get the tank filled of our vehicle, how do we pay? They say 86 rupees per liter. When we go to the market to purchase any, let's say, vegetable, how do we pay? Let's say they say rupees 50 per kg. Or when I go to purchase, let's say, a piece of cloth, then how do they charge or what is the rate? They say rupees 200 per meter. Now the thing is, what is this? These are the cost units. That is, the cost is being measured. When they are charging the cost accordingly in liter or kg in meter, let's say per meter, so it means the cost has to be recorded and it has to be calculated also accordingly in these measures only. So these are going to be our cost unit. So what is cost unit? If I want to define it, so cost units are the units of physical measurement. These are the units of physical measurement. So, physical measurement, for example, it can be number, that is the units. It can be the weight, for example, the kg part. It can be an area. It can be volume. It can be anything taken. So, remember when the cost unit is fixed, it should not be too big, it should not be too small, but it should be such that the expenditure which we are incurring on that product or service is easily associated with it. तो उसको अच्छी तरह से associate कर लें. Now, when I say service, let me tell you about service, how the service is being charged. For example, if you are going from Jalandhar to Amritsar, how are you going to be charged? You are going to be charged, suppose you are only single one person traveling, so per passenger they are going to take, and then per kilometer also, that how many kilometers. For example, if you don't want to go to the Amritsar, you only want to go to a destination which is nearby Jalandhar, let's say Kartarpur. So the charges will be different. Of course, they will be for the passenger, but according to the kilometer. So we can say per passenger kilometer. The cost unit can be per passenger kilometer. Clear? So it means cost unit could be simple when I say per liter per kg, or it can be taken up in the composite or a compound form when I use two measures. Two measures are used in order to uh, properly ascertain the cost. So, cost has to be ascertained accordingly because we have to charge that from the people who will be utilizing our products or services. So, remember that the cost unit is taken up properly while measuring the only then the cost measurement would be accurate. So let us do certain example of certain industries that what cost unit is used. Let's say for example, what does sugar industry do? How do they measure the cost? They calculate the cost in quintals per quintal. How the textile, the cloth example which I gave you, how the textile industry measures the cost. They measure the cost in meters, it can be in yards also. How a hospital would be measuring the cost, it is going to be per bed, so it can be the room charges, the per bed charges. How it is going to be for, let's say, when we go for purchase of, or let's say I want to get interior decoration of my house done. So when I say interior decoration of my house, so when I'll be paying for that particular job. So it is per job. What I am want to do, whether some wall or whether whatever. So according to the job, so per job. So you have seen that cost unit is basically what? What is cost unit? The purpose is that we are breaking up or separating the cost into smaller units in order to attribute to particular product or service, so that we are able to match each and every expenditure done on making of that product with that. So one more example, yes, bricks. Whenever we do construction work and we order for bricks, how do they charge? They charge rupees dash per. Is it kg or is it 1000 bricks? They charge for the 1000 bricks. It is never for a kg. So per 1000 bricks is the charge. So per 1000 bricks charge. So here the cost unit is per 1000 bricks. So it depends from the particular industry or enterprise what cost unit is going to be. Then the second thing is that what is cost unit. Now, after cost unit, we are going to go that from where the cost is measured. So cost is measured in cost center, as I told you earlier. So what is cost center? Cost center is an area, or we can say it is a department, or I can say that it is the smallest segment of any activity. इसको बेटा जितना भी डेप्थ में लेके जा सकते हैं, बिकॉज कॉस्ट हर जगह पर इनकर हो रही है, तो वेयर एवर द कॉस्ट इज बीइंग इनकर्ड, दैट part will be that area or that segment or that department is going to be known as cost center. So cost centers can be sub departments. एक डिपार्टमेंट के अंदर जो सब डिपार्टमेंट है, it can be that also. Now let's say we are talking about a main department. This is production department. This is a cost center. In production department, we are producing three main products. So they can be again a center for us. And let's say in department A, there is a particular machine which is very important for us, very costly and very thing. It is taking too much of fuel or too much of attention of ours, and it is regularly we are spending on this machine in order to make the products. So in that particular machine can also be a cost center for us. So it is only कि आपको control कैसा रखना है. It can be let's say uh, if I say sales department, very effective. So in sales department, who are working? Many sales personnel are working. So each salesperson can be one cost center for me. So the organization can divide or subdivide the segments till they are able to calculate the particular the exact cost. So what is cost center? It is a department or unit or division in an organization which contributes to cost. So wherever the cost is being incurred. And key cost centers in an organization are, they can be marketing department, human resource department, it can be R&D department also, it can be your finance department also. So production department also. So these are all the key centers because we are incurring costs. पैसे लग रहे हैं यहाँ पर सारे, and we want to have optimum control on that cost. So what are the various types of cost centers? On the basis of this, if I say what are the types of cost centers? Types of cost centers are, it can be personal or it can be impersonal. Personal example, let's say when I said a salesman or a manager, that single unit can be our cost center. Then that is a cost center that deals with person or group of person is a personal cost center. And what is impersonal cost center? Impersonal cost center is which deals with equipment or machinery or any location, that is impersonal cost center. Then we have the next one that can be production cost center. It can be service cost center. It can be operation cost center. It can be process cost center. So production cost center is where it is totally related to the production of goods. We are saying that is a production cost center. Similarly, service which are related, which those services which are used in order for the production department. Let's just take an example of production and service cost center. For example, if I say maintenance department, now maintenance department is an example of which one? Yes, it is maintenance department is giving services. So this is service cost center. So when I say uh, administration department, now what is administration department again doing? Rendering services only. So it is a part of service cost center. Then if I say, uh, let's say product, some product A, product B, then of course I'm talking about the production cost center. So these are the various types in which we can create cost centers in an organization. Importance is that wherever a cost center will be created, we are going to put someone responsible for the cost of that cost center. That is automatically we are creating a responsibility center. That so and so person is going to be responsible for the cost which is being incurred in that cost center. And it is very essential in order to increase the operational efficiency of a concern. And of course, if we want to have a any sort of a change at any time, or we want to incorporate certain new policies, whatever, if we have good cost centers made, they can easily adapt to the changes also. But the limitation is, of course, as you can see, that sometimes it can lead to increase in expenditure because we are creating so many people who are responsible, so it can lead to increase in cost. So what automatically the differences come between the cost center and cost unit is, let us wind up now. So the cost unit is a unit of product or service in which the relation to which the costs are ascertained. And what is cost center? Cost center is the smallest segment or area for which the costs are ascertained. So costs are ascertained, these are the measurable units. Unit is a cost unit are the measurable, quantifiable in quantity term. And cost center is we are talking about a place. That is the particular place or person. Then types. When I say here cost unit is taking, it is usually there are two types, simple and the composite. Simple was per kg, per liter, per centimeter, and composite or compound one was per passenger kilometer, as I explained. So, in case of transport industry, so it can be uh, example of cost centers can be cost center examples are, as I told you earlier, R&D department, stores department, production department, marketing department, they all can be cost centers. Even repair and maintenance department, even a single supervisor can be, even a salesman can be a cost center. And what are the examples of cost unit? That is, I have already given you. These are the example of cost unit. So, uh, if any doubts, you can ask, you can send me the message, and we will be discussing that part. So that's all for now. All the best. Do well, prepare well for your exams, prepare well for your future. So take care. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.